Hello, this is RADACAD from RADACAD, and in this video I'm going to show you how to have a dynamic formatting in Power BI for your values, where you can change things such as like currency, thousand separator, the number of decimal places. I'll show you how you can do that in Power BI. Similar to all other examples I have in my videos, you can download this file from my blog link down in the description below. Now to start, you can format a field in Power BI statically. Like for example, if I have a sales amount, I can click on the field, not on the checkbox, on the name of the field. At the top section here under column tools, or if it is a measure, there would be like a section for measure tools, and then I'll see the format configuration, which I can configure it over here. This is a great option when you have when you have only one single format for a field or value, and you can specify like that. And if you go to the model tab, you can specify one single format for multiple fields at a time. But what if you want to have this to be dynamic? For example, you might want to show something in multiple currencies. Let's say you have users in different countries and they have different formatting requirements. Now, normally when you have different currencies, values are coming from different fields as well. You have like currency conversion and things like that. But this video is all about just the formatting. So I'm assuming that this value, the sales value, is the value that I want to see in euro format, USD, and GBP. At the moment, this is basically just changing the first character of this, but you can apply any other formatting options as well. So what I have done is, first I've created this table. We call these tables parameter table. It's a table that has only these values. The way that I did it was creating it using Interdata here in Power BI Desktop, but the best practice would be doing it in an Excel file or in a data source like CDS or SQL Server, any data sources you've got. This is a normal table with these 3 values in it, or as many as values you need. Then what I have done is I've used a function expression here. I wrote a measure with this expression. Now I'll explain it part by part. The important part is this function. Format function is a function that you can use and say, this value, I want to format it in currency amount. For example, if I use this in here, and don't think about the rest of the expression for now, this means that whatever that sales value is, formatted in this format, which basically means that put a $sign at the beginning, have a 1000 separator, and 2 decimal places. There are different format string options for date, for time, for currency values, for numeric values. You can go and check the links down in the description from my blog article, which explains different details of that. Now, what I have done is I've generated that formatting dynamically using the selected value from that table. So let me remove this part. That was just to show you how it works. So what I have done is that first I check what is the value selected in that table, in the currency table. If nothing is selected, consider USD as the default value. Then what I have said is that if it is US dollar, have this format. Basically, it's like all the same formatting. I just changed the first character here or the other 2. Right? This is how the switch function works. So switch function checks this value. It's like conditional if then else. I have another video about that. So it is telling me that if this value is equal US dollar, return this. If it is equal GBP, return this. If it is equal to euro, return this. It's like if, then else, then else, then else, something like that, right? And then I use that whole format string generated, which can be one of these 3 based on the selection of that currency table. I use that inside the format function. So as a result, when I change the value here, this automatically changed that format string, and you can see it is used in 2 different visuals. It is changing in both. right? So that's the whole thing about making your format dynamic, and you can go to further steps with that. When you use DAX for making things dynamic, that means you can do many other things. So what I have done is I've created two other tables, one for thousand separator. It's just a table called thousand separator, and it has like a column that I use for yes and no, which is enabled or disabled. Or decimal place is another column which I used here and has values from 0 to 3. And for that, I created that using just what if parameter in Power BI. So I've created these and I've added them inside my other tab. You can again download this Power BI file from my blog link down in the description below. So I have these three slicers. And what I have done is I've used another measure. Now this is a little bit more detailed, but I can go through that fairly quickly. What we have here is that I check the values of the thousand separator. If it is enabled, then I add the comma into the string. For decimal places, I add the number of digits, depends on how many decimal places I've got, using rept function, which is repeating a text token based on the number that we want. And then I actually build all of those together into a text, which is the number format I use, and whatever that currency, let's say, format is, I'm adding that to the number format altogether. The code is available in my blog with the file. You can download it and see how it works in details. As a result, this means that now I can change these and they would immediately take the place. So this would change the first character. This would change if I want to have that thousand separator or not. And this would change the number of decimal places. And if it goes 0, that would remove that dot at the beginning as well. So it's just like that. So quite useful way of formatting, and you can use these to change the formatting between, let's say, percentage or other values as well. One thing you need to know before using it is that the return result of the format function is a text value. So your value won't be numeric. It won't be, let's say, date or whatever the value is. It would be a text value, but with that format you have applied. If you have any questions about that, feel free to write in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have weekly videos of Power BI and AI.